I saw this terrific image the other day where it was a picture of an iceberg above and below the water. And you know, they say the tip of the iceberg, the part of the iceberg you can see is just this little bit, but below the water, it's like a mountain upside down. And they were comparing it to musical theater. All the work that goes in that you do in your bedroom to prepare for rehearsal the next day is the foundation you will stand on to propel you forward in your moment of truth.
The audition process is just another part of your education because there's so many of them that you will take over the lifetime of a career. It needs to be based in storytelling and in character development and in how you would express a character through song or how you would express a character through dance. If you're just focusing on the mad skills of each separate one, you still don't end up in the right place, no matter how many Broadway shows you get.
Maybe you're in a voice lesson and you learn that song. They can't take that away from me. You should go home and sing it as 3 different characters. Is it someone who's very confident, who just fell in love and the person just told them they love you too? Or is it someone who saw a stranger across the train platform and you instantly fell in love with them? There's so many different ways you can interpret those lyrics, and that would inform the way you physicalize yourself, right? The way you deliver the words and the way your voice sounds. So how you tell that story could be completely different. You can go on the internet if there's something that you want to know about, a person, a project, a musician, a musical, a play, a writer, anything in the world, pretty much. You can look it up on YouTube. If this is what you want to do, you should be watching the people that came before you, because if they're doing it right, the best form of a compliment is for you to emulate it.
It's one thing to really study something, and then you really have to make it your own. I do see a lot in auditions, people just being imitative, and that's really dangerous.
I think it's a good idea for yourself, each audition, to sort of set small goals. Now, you're probably going to sing a song that you've sung many times before. So within that, you know, oh, sometimes I'm not perfect on this note, or I really want to make sure I get that good breath before the high note at the end. And if I've taken that baby step forward every time I go to an audition, then it's only a matter of time before they see my progress and I get the job.
The amount of success that you'll have will be a lot less than the amount of failure you would have. So if you're always looking for your own personal goals, then failure is not an option. It's just another learning experience. And it's part of your job as an actor, as a singer, as a dancer to go to auditions, just as it's part of a truck driver's job to get in his truck and drive the truck every day.
So often we will see somebody that is really committed to their personal process, and even if they didn't nail it, it makes you want to go in and say, okay, let's try again. Let's really look at this moment now. Can you do this a little bit differently? And if they can make a correction without cracking in half and getting upset about it, then you want to work with that person.
Sometimes the reasons why people don't get a show are fairly random and have nothing to do with how talented you are or what happened that day. Sometimes it's like we have too many tall people, or too many short people, or too many people with long dark hair, or too many people with short blonde hair.
There's a very famous, many times over, Tony Award-winning director and choreographer, Susan Stroman, and she is very famous for asking you to perform whatever you list as your special skill in your auditions. A young lady happened to say on her resume that she could eat fire, and Susan said, how about right now? And she went home, got her sticks, and came back on the next break and ate fire for everybody in the room. So it's not something you want to lie about. You can't judge your self-worth or your quote-unquote success based on whether or not you went to an audition and got a job. One of the very first shows that I ever auditioned for was Chicago the Musical. I just graduated from college. I was very young, really too young for the show, but I knew I was supposed to be in that show. And so I went to the audition, and I went to the audition, and I went to the audition, and over the course of 10 years, I auditioned 13 times before they hired me. It's just saying, well, okay, I know I belong there, but maybe I'm missing something. So what do I have to keep adding to my bag of tricks to really get me across the finish line, so to speak, to get them to actually hire me?
Marin Alsop's father, Leonard Alsop, who was the concertmaster for the City Ballet, said if I didn't enjoy practicing, I should get out. Because the amount of time that you spend performing is so small to the time that you spend practicing and thinking about it and going to lessons and going to auditions. You have to love really being on your own in a small world, just really honing your skills. And that singular purpose is where your heart really has to lie.